everyone, it's Raven. Welcome back to the Nest. What I'll be doing for you all today is taking you through my new budget sheets. Well, I guess I can call it budget planner because it's going to be a budget planner for 2022. I revamped a lot of things within my budget sheets, and I'm also switching up the cuff a little bit regarding how I will be budgeting in 2022. So if you want to hear all about that, stay tuned. All right, so first I want to kind of maybe preface why I'm changing up my budget, kind of my budgeting method and style. I'm a person who kind of gets tired of doing the same old thing all the time, and I'm always a person that wants to challenge myself to do something that I may find a little bit more difficult or a little bit more cumbersome, or maybe not that, maybe just something that's different. I like to kind of switch it up a little bit and challenge myself to do something different. So that was my plan and what I wanted to do for 2022. So I sat down and thought about maybe some things that I could incorporate into my budgeting method that will appease me in that needing a change. Because also I'm trying to prepare myself for home ownership. What do I mean by that? I'm on this journey to buy this house, and just a little FYI to people who may be wondering, yes, I have officially started that process. No, I did not go through NACA, and I'm not gonna do it. It just was not for me. I may do like a sit down story time, maybe to bring y'all up to date on that. I don't know. Or would you all like to see some vlogging of sorts? Maybe going out with me to look at houses. I mean, I don't know. Just tell me what y'all want to see. But anyway, I have started that process of looking for a house. I have my realtor, buyer agreement thing, whatever they call it, and we have been out looking at houses. I've probably been doing that maybe for the past, I'm gonna say month, I believe. About the past, well, maybe a little bit less than a month. It had to have been maybe like 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so maybe almost a month. Yeah, maybe almost a month. So maybe next week will make a month. I don't know. I'm harping too much on how much time it's passed. But anyway, I have since like the beginning, middle-ish of November, I have been looking at houses. I have put some offers in on houses. I think I've put, so far in this process, I've maybe put in 3 offers, I think. We're currently on 4th offer right now. As I film this video, I am waiting to hear back on offer number 4. I have not been successful thus far. As you can tell, the market is still pretty crazy, and you know, there's a lot of investors and cash buyers that are coming to the Memphis area trying to buy up all the houses. So I'm competing, I'm sure, with a lot of those situations. So it's been a journey. It's only been, like I said, maybe right at a month, but I am learning different things kind of about myself and what kind of home I want and what different kind of features and amenities, different I am learning throughout this process of looking at homes. We looked at quite a few. I'm going to say I've probably at this point looked at about 15 houses, maybe so far, like maybe like 15 houses, put in 4 offers so far. So we'll see. We will see how long this journey takes. I have people telling me that, girl, you're gonna be looking at houses for the next 6 months. Well, it's fine. I'm not in a complete, I'm not like in a rush trying to buy a house, and I'm not, not like I gotta be out by, next week or nothing. So I definitely have the time. So anyway, that was kind of like a tangent or whatever. But one reason why I was changing up my budgeting method is because I'm preparing myself for home ownership, preparing myself to be a home owner. And that means my spending is going to have to look a little bit different. My budgeting is going to have to look different. So I'm just trying to prepare myself for that. That way, once I do get the house, I'm not scrambling trying to change up my budget and my spending and all that when I'm just trying to get prepared for it right now. So that was the motivation behind my new budget as well as the new budgeting sheets. So let's start. So this here is just the cover page that I created. I'm just calling it simply the budget planner. And I have my little, I don't want to say a logo because that's not really my logo. I'm working with an artist trying to get a logo together for my brand, but I don't really have a logo as of yet. So I just thought I'd just put this nice little scripty down here, and yeah, that's what we went with. So this is our first page. So flipping and turning, on the back of our cover page, we have, and I think the brightness may be up too bright, maybe. Let me just shift it over here because I think y'all can see better. But on the back here, what we have is our monthly spread. And I just limited this to one page. I thought about doing it as a 2-page spread, but one page just made more sense for me. I like to have a monthly kind of setup because I like to see where all of my bills are going to fall compared to my paydays. So monthly view is always going to be a thing I need. Currently what I'm using is an old Happy Planner, which already has a monthly spread in it, but it has a lot of extra pages that I really didn't need. So I was just like, why not just make your own planner and move on with life? So that is what I did. So this is going to be my monthly page. And it's undated. That's one thing. I made this planner undated because I will be selling it on my Etsy shop. It's going to be listed there. If you're watching this video, it is live. It's live on the Etsy shop right now if you are watching this video. So I made it undated so that way you could pick up this planner at any point and go. You don't have to worry about, well, if I get it, I'm only going to be able to use it for half the year or whatever. You pick it up and you start it wherever you start. So that's one reason why I left it undated. So that's that page. So the next page we get to, this is going to be your monthly overview, and I may zoom in so that I can show you all the details. All right. So on this monthly overview page, what we have an income section, and I made 4 slots here, so enough for you to put 4 different types of income, whether that is you have a full-time job, you know, you may have a part-time job, you got a side hustle, you get, you know, any kind of government relief, child support, like whatever income you have for that month. Like I said, I made 4 slots for that. And then of course you enter your, you know, your amounts for that over here and your total. Next, we get down here to your kind of your monthly outgoing, which is going to be your bills, your cash envelopes, your debts, your savings. And you have slots here to put in the actual amounts, and dollar signs are already there for you. And I left out a couple of more slots here in case you have other things that do not fall into these 4 categories, because everybody's budget and situation is different. So you may have some other things going on right here. And then moving down at the bottom, we have our budget and actual section. So you have what you budgeted, your income, your outgoing, and your remaining to be. And then you have a spot for where you can put your actuals in. Over to the right of the page, we have a to-do list and consideration section. Y'all know I'm big on considerations and to-dos and all that to do with finances. So this will be like your sections to put that. Any to-dos that you have for your finances, anything that's finance or money related, that's a to-do, you can put that here. And anything that you need to consider for the month related to your finances, you can put here. Whether that be you need to consider there are a couple of birthdays this month, we got Christmas falling this month. You may need to consider, well, I got a bonus coming in, or, you know, just whatever you need to consider for your finances this month, you need to put it there. It's sort of like a reminder for you. So on the back of that page, we have the monthly bill and debt tracker. This is very similar to what is in my current budget planner. It's just a list where you list out all of your bills. And what I may do, because this is like really bright. Hold on a second, y'all. Okay, that might be better. At first it was just way too bright. So let me zoom a little more so you can get some really good detail here. All right, so what you have for the monthly bill and debt tracker, you're going to list out all of your bills and your debts on this sheet. So you have type, which your type section is going to be whether it is a expense, if it's a bill, if it's a debt, kind of whatever it is. So like the difference, Netflix is a bill. Okay, credit card, Discover, whatever it is, that's a debt. So you're going to make sure to signify what it is. If it's a bill, if it's a debt. Then the name here, that's pretty self-explanatory. You're going to put the name of whatever it is. Amount section, you're going to put the amount, how much ever it is. You have a slot for the due date, and then you have a place where you can maybe do a check mark or an X or whatever you'd like to put here just to show that it's been paid. And this sheet is what you would use here to kind of tally up so that you can add it here on your monthly outgoing, because you won't really know these like right offhand until you do this, or until you do this monthly spread page. So that's what's on this page, and you get one full sheet of this on this side and one full sheet on the next page. So essentially, once you put it into whatever you're going to put it in, mine of course is going to be a ring bound planner. So mine essentially will open like this. Have a monthly overview. Then we get to my, well, monthly page, monthly overview. And then we get 2 pages of the monthly bill and debt tracker. All right. So what we have next, we have our weekly budget spread. Now this is where we get into the change that I will be making for my budgeting method for 2022. So budgeting method current, what I have been doing, I would do a monthly budget setup, which included kind of all those similar things, doing the monthly spread, kind of doing a little bit of an overview as far as like income I had coming in, and then a list of like all of my outgoing expenses. Then I would do paycheck budgets, which was every 2 weeks, because I essentially, for my full-time job, I was paid every 2 weeks. So what I found was kind of, I don't want to say a challenge for me, but what was kind of stifling me was that essentially I'm only doing a budget or analyzing my budget or whatever you want to call it. I was only literally doing that probably 3 times a month, maybe 4, depending on what was really happening. That means that I was only setting up a monthly budget. I would set up my paycheck budget for the first paycheck, and then I wouldn't set up the next paycheck budget till another 2 weeks. I mean, I would check in with the first paycheck budget, but I just wasn't really, I felt like I wasn't touching my budget enough, if that makes sense. I just wasn't. So I said, well, what if I go to doing weekly budgeting? So basically, I will be getting rid of paycheck budgeting. I know, I'm a pause. Yes, I am going to get rid of paycheck to paycheck budgeting, and I will be strictly budgeting monthly and weekly. I will, of course, have some daily elements in there that I'll get to in just a second. But essentially, like I said, I will be doing a monthly budget setup, and then I will be doing weekly budgets. So let's go ahead and dive into these weekly budget pages. All right, so our weekly budget pages are going to be set up into 2 pages. So this is going to be your first page. So you're going to have your priorities. So this will be just for the week. So you have your priorities, you have a to-do list, and then you have a weekly goal. I bet y'all were wondering, where was the weekly goal on the monthly page? Well, I took that away and decided to dwindle that down to doing weekly goals. So that's what we have there. And then we have a large note section where I can put any notes. And then we have a little expense box. So basically in this expense box, I'm going to put in here all of my bills and debts that fall within this particular week. So that's why you only get so many spaces for this. But this should work. It should work. Unless you were just somebody who just got exorbitant amount of bills, which I'm not about that life. I'm not about that life of having all these bills and debts and all of that. But this essentially will be the box where you would put in what is due just for this week. And then down here at the bottom, it gives you a spot to put what's coming up for the next week, because we always want to be cognizant of what is coming. At least that's how I am. I want to be cognizant of what is coming. So like I said, box for what's coming up. And then on our next page, which is page 2 of our weekly budget, we have here in spending tracker. So essentially anything that does not fall within like an already set bill or debt or something like that, it's going to go here. So like, let's say I go to Walgreens and I pick up household supplies, or I go to the movies, or, you know, just any kind of spending that's not already set and predetermined. Those things are going to go on this, like spending tracker here. And then over to the far right side of the page, I'm really, really extremely excited to have this page, because I was one of those people that just found doing physical cash envelopes to be cumbersome, and they were cumbersome for this particular part for me. it was going to the bank and getting the correct denominations of what I needed. That was always such a hassle for me. And even like way back when I was doing physical cash envelopes, and then I went to digital, and then of course you all know I switched back to physical a couple of months ago. Well, that just continued to be a cumbersome process for me. I mean, just knowing how many of what denominations I needed, being able to tell the teller that, it just was a whole thing. It was a whole thing for me, y'all. And I know that on Etsy or several other places, or I could even make my own, like those teller slips. I don't know if y'all see those, but some budgeters, like on YouTube, they have like teller slips that they will fill out and give to the teller that tells them, tells the teller, well, I need this many ones and this many fives and this many tens. I'm perfectly fine with doing that, but I have to know what to write on the teller, on the teller slip. I have to know what to write on it. So I created this in order to help me know what I need of what, and then I can transfer this to my bank slip. So let's take a closer look at this. All right, so up here, you have a box for your cash envelopes. You're going to put your budgeted amount here in this column, and then your actual amount is going to be what you actually spent in that particular category once the week is done. Down here at the bottom, I have not decided what I'm going to call this box yet, but this is essentially going to be my prepping station before I fill out my bank slip. So essentially how this section works, I have these columns here. And in these columns here, you have $1 bill, $5 bill, $10, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill. Those what's in the columns. Now going down the rows, you have spots to put your different cash envelope categories. And I think there's enough room for like 10 in all. So essentially what you're going to do, let's just say this is for gas. Now we're going to do gas. So I know that I'm going to budget $40 for gas. Well, how do I want that set? How do I want that in denominations? Do I want 4 10s? Do I want 2 20s? Do I want, 8 5s? How do I kind of want that split up? And that's where I would write that out here. So like for gas, I would put just 2 20s. Let's just keep it simple. I want 2 $20 bills. So I'm going to put the number 2 under this $20 bill for the gas. Then next we're going to move to, we're just going to throw some out there, groceries. So let's just say my grocery budget for the week is going to be $80, but I want a couple of different denominations. So let's just say, and none of this is going to calculate right, you guys. This is just for an example. So I need $80 for groceries. So let's say I want to do 4 5s. I need two 20s, 4 5s, and then 2 10s. Let's just say that. So then I put my 4 5s, I put the number 4 under the $5 column. I put 2 under the $10 column, and then I put 2 under the $20 column. So I do that for all of my cash envelopes, literally all of them. So once I get this completely filled out with the denominations that I need for each kind of, for each cash envelope, then I would take my bank slip and I can easily go in and write this amount in. So I'll just go down this column and I would count. Okay, it says I need 4 5s here, I need 2 5s here, and then I need 2 5s here, and then I need 1 5 here. So I'm gonna add all those numbers up, and that's gonna tell me how many $5 bills I need. So this is just going to be extremely helpful for me. Not sure about anybody else, but I hope that this will be helpful for somebody else, but it's going to be extremely helpful for me. So that is essentially your weekly pages. And like I said, your weekly setup is set up into 2 pages here. And there's a total, I think, of 5. There's 5 weekly spreads total. Because there's usually about 4.3-ish weeks in a month. So I just rounded it off to 5 weeks. So you get 5 weekly spreads here. All right, so then once you get past all of your weekly spreads, what you're going to come to is your sinking fund tracker. Because I had to put something in there to track my sinking funds. I don't think I had that before in my, is that in my current budget planner? It is, but it's a really small section. It's a small section. So I wanted to kind of flush that out more and do something a little bit, more. So in this section, what I have, there's enough slots here And like I said, and this is just for the month. This is not like for the forever. This is just for the month. So what you have here is boxes for each of your sinking funds. Okay, boxes. And we're going to show you what's on these boxes here. So what you have here is the date. You have a spot to put your sinking fund name right here. Starting balance, of course, that's pretty self-explanatory, your starting balance. You have a plus or minus column, which means you either took money out of this sinking fund or you added. And then after whatever you did, you have your ending balance here. And then you just go on for the entire month for that particular sinking fund. So like I said, there are spots here to put about 8 sinking funds. And the good thing about this is because it's going to be a PDF that you're going to download once you purchase, you can print as many of these sinking fund sheets that you need if you have more sinking funds. And then the last page is going to be the debt payoff tracker. It's set up very similar to the sinking fund tracker. You have your debt where you list the name of the debt at the top. You have a date box for the date, of course. Starting balance, which is the starting balance of the debt. You have a plus or minus sign, whether you paid some of that debt off or you added more debt. And then you have your ending balance here. And again, there's enough for 8 total debts for you to track throughout the month. All right, guys, so this is it. This is the new budget planner as well as the new budgeting method that I will be using for 2022. If you are interested in this budget planner, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is available in my Etsy shop. You will, of course, if you go on and purchase, you will get a full 12-month planner. Of course, I just printed 1 month's worth for this video, but you will actually receive a PDF download for the entire year. And like I said, it will be undated so that you can essentially pick this up and start it wherever you are if you choose to purchase later in the year, you know. So that's why it will be, like I said, undated, everything. So if you are interested, like I said, Etsy shop is linked down below. I have not yet decided if I'm going to list it as a physical option, because for the entire year, to do it for the entire year, it does come out to quite a few pages. I'm going to say that even with the printing on the front and back, which I will have instructions for that in the listing for how to print it. But like I said, even though it is going to be printed front and back, it does come out to quite a few sheets, I believe. I want to say it's somewhere north of like 40-50 pages, I think. So I would have to really up my stock of this kind of, I don't want to say specialty paper that I use, but I use a kind of nicer, thicker weight paper than just regular traditional printer paper, because I just like the way it feels. It just feels a little bit more sturdy in a sense, and I use that same paper to print my printables as well. So I would have to definitely up my stock of paper because I mean, essentially, if I were to get, say, I would want to say like maybe 10 orders of the physical, that would like wipe out my entire paper collection my current paper stock that I have. So not sure yet. I may think, and honestly, when this video goes up, I may have already decided and then have it posted for physical copies as well. But as of for right now, it's going to be listed for digital, which even if you don't choose to print it, you can download it into, say, like if you have an iPad or something like that, you could download it into your iPad and use it as a digital. Where you can use like GoodNotes or something like that. That's what I have on my iPad is GoodNotes. All right, so let's get to the giveaway for today's video. What I will be giving away to one lucky winner is a $75 gift card to Plum paper. So if you all may remember, I want to say like last month, maybe the month before last. No, I think it was last month. Matter of fact, I think it was last month. I did a very extensive video kind of doing a flip through of the Plum paper planners that I purchased that I'll be using in 2022. And so I'm going to do a giveaway for a gift card to Plum paper for someone to go on and customize and get their own planner for 2022. So how you enter into the drawing, I typically make it very easy, very simple for you. What you're going to do is you're going to give a like for this video, make sure that you are a subscriber, and then you're going to comment down below what your budget plan is for 2022. It doesn't have to be anything extensive. It could be something new that you're going to incorporate into budgeting for next year. If you are switching up your budgeting method, kind of what you're going to be doing as far as budgeting for 2022. That's what you're going to comment down below. And then I will randomly pick one lucky subscriber to win the $75 gift card from Plum Paper. So entry cutoff will be, where's my phone? Where's my phone? With today being, what is today? Today is the 18th. So we are going to cut them off because I need to announce the winner on next week's video. So we are actually going to cut entries off December 22nd. Yes. All entries must be in by noon Central Standard Time on Wednesday, December 2nd. So again, entry rules. You want to give a like to this video, you must be a subscriber, and then you're going to comment down below whatever you're doing new for your budgeting for 2022. Or if you're not doing anything new for your budgeting, what is kind of your tried and true that you're going to continue in 2022? So like I said, all of that must be done by December 22nd, noon Central Standard Time. All right, guys, so that is going to be it. If you enjoyed this video, definitely go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not already a subscriber, definitely go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you do not miss any more of my videos. Thanks, guys. Peace.